Hi everyone. A question I often ask these days almost regularly to myself. How safe our work or job is being a senior software developer or as a software architect? The question comes to my mind almost every time when I see another state of the art AI LLM coding model gets released in the internet. This morning, I waked up with this question again as I went to sleep yesterday seeing Anthropic's tweet. So I decided this morning that I will try and fire myself from the job role that I have with just $20 in my hand. So I spent around 4 hours with a state of the art AI API released just yesterday to build a production ready app. No, not the demo app that you usually see in most of the YouTube video. I really wanted to build a ground up production ready app that would have the app features. However, at the same time, it should be built with production grade features such as proper input validation, appropriate logging system, and feature flag system, appropriate coding coverage testing, security features such as state of the art encryption like AES 256 for sensitive data such as financial data and hashing of passwords, appropriate telemetry setup, fine grained and robust access control beyond just role based access control using proper permission management, asynchronous event and job queue management, internationalization, solid error handling, dependency injection, etc. Basically, all those additional features for which companies could still pay us these days, even though AI write the basic feature code. No, I am not going to ask you to spend next 4 hours watching the boring stuff that I have done the entire day today. What I have done is I have packed up the entire 4 hours into this approximately 80 minutes video for you to see if I was successful in firing myself from my job with Anthropic's latest model release, Haiku 3.5. So let's go to the code tutorial, shall we? Welcome to the code tutorial. Almost 2 weeks back, Anthropic has announced about Claude 3.5 Haiku. You probably have heard before. And they said in this particular blog that it will be well suited for user facing products and agent tasks. And of course, in this channel, we talk more about SaaS and app developments. So our main focus would be code completion stuff. And it said in this particular blog that 3.5 Haiku would offer quick, accurate code suggestions and complete accelerated development workflows. And the best part was the pricing of the 3.5 Haiku would be $1 per million input tokens and $5 per output tokens, which is 90% cost saving with prompt caching. So that means Haiku 3.5 would also have prompt caching enabled and 50% cost saving with batch API. So this was all a good news, but the only problem was they didn't launch the Cloud 3.5 Haiku at the time of announcement of this particular blog. However, yesterday when I was going to bed, I saw this tweet that Cloud 3.5 Haiku is not available on our API on Amazon Bedrock, Google Cloud, and Vertex AI. So I went to the Anthropic console and I could see that the Haiku is now listed with 50 requests per limit as rate limit and 50,000 token per minute. Now, I think 50,000 token could be an issue if you really want to create a large scale development because we will target to create a complete application using 3.5 Haiku and test the model in terms of SaaS or app development purpose. As I've said before, I'm not really a model tester guy, so I'm not going to actually test the performance or the effectiveness of the model for other tasks. However, if you are looking for such benchmarks, they have also posted this benchmark previously as part of the original blog. You can refer that. The only good thing that I have seen in the benchmark is Cloud 3.5 Sonnet, which is a really expensive model, was having 93.7% human eval benchmark, whereas 3.5 has 88, which is almost close to GPT-4o. But I really don't trust on benchmark as much as they claim to be. But however, I'm expecting this model to be really intelligent in terms of code development. So let's go ahead and test the model. Now, before I go and start testing, just wanted to again quickly show you the pricing. So the pricing is $1 per million token and $5 per million token as output. However, if you use with prompt caching, that will be $1.25 per million token, hopefully. So that is a lot of reduction in the cost. And prompt caching read is only 10 cents per million token. So this is really good, and especially if you compare with Sonnet, and if 3.5 Haiku is as intelligent, or at least intelligent as close proximity as 3.5 Sonnet, I think that will make a lot of people happy, and I'm really excited to see all these updates coming almost every day. So enough talk. Let's go ahead and test the model. Just one last thing is, if you ever hit a rate limit issue with your development, I think what you can also do is go to Open Router and use their Haiku. I can see they have listed 3.5 Haiku as well. I think you will not hit the rate limit with Open Router as quick as you would get with Anthropic. So that's really another option. If we face this issue when we would start developing our app, we can switch to Open Router. So we will now go to our VS Code.
And at this point, the rules to fire myself are set in my mind. The rules are: I'll create this app in a language which is little or not completely known to me. Second rule is the app should have the production feature, and I'll consider myself as novice, as if I don't know what are production features. So I'm going to ask the AI to first act as an architect to write down the app plan for production. And three, at no point I am going to change any code by myself.
For developing an app with Cloud 3.5 Haiku, what we will use is Aider. If you don't know about Aider, or if you haven't used Aider before, please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to bring a crash course on Aider, how to use it effectively. But for this demonstration, I'm not going too much details about Aider. It is again another open source agentic code framework that you can use as your pair programmer within the terminal. What we will do is, first I'll quickly create a Python environment. I'm going to use 3.10. The reason is because it's a stable version, but you can use 3.11 as well. But I would suggest you to not use 3.12 because 3.12 still doesn't have the stable release. Yes, let me activate this environment, and I'm going to install the Aider as my first step. Again, if you already have it installed, don't worry about it. Just go ahead to the next section straight away and let's start developing. So this is all installed. I will go back to the Anthropic console and I'm going to create an API key. But before I do that, just want to quickly show you the current balance. So I have $3.80 remaining in this Anthropic console.
The plan is not keep all the eggs in one basket. That means $20 that I'll spend is not going to be in one platform at one time. I'll spend it, but with $5 top up to ensure that we don't top up to a platform all the $20 where we may hit token limit for the day or frequently hit the token limit.
And of course, we are going to use the prompt caching feature. So hopefully the cost will be a bit less. So I've got this key. So we are going to set the key here first with Anthropic key. And we are going to actually start as architect mode. Now, if you don't know about architect mode, again, subscribe to the channel, as I'm going to bring the Aider crash course where we will talk about all of these options to create SaaS application effectively with open source pair programmers such as Aider. To use the Haiku model, we need to use Haiku as another arguments, and then of course we are going to use cache prompt to save some cost. Just hit enter. So it immediately asks me there is no Git repo found. I'll just say yes. Now the Aider is activated and we can see that it's using the Cloud 3.5 Haiku model with architect edit format, prompt cache, and infinite output. That's really good. Now we will straight go ahead and instruct Aider to create our SaaS application. Although Haiku 3.5 is an intelligent model, I think we really have to be smart enough to give the prompt in a way that the model knows almost all the detail that it needs to create the app. Now the app idea is very simple, as I was trying to build it for last two video, if you have seen it. So I was trying to build an subscription manager app that will keep track of my finances, because with a lot of AI tools coming into the market, my monthly costs are shooting up without any kind of boundaries and tracking. So I really wanted to track my subscription payment every month. And this is what we will also try to create. I have already tried to create it with the free model that has given me a somewhat okay application, but I really wanted this application to be production ready. And I'm hoping with Cloud 3.5, we will be able to create an app that is almost production ready and good looking. So I have given this instruction and I can see AI that Ada have started creating the project structure and everything else. I'll just say yes. So the architect has asked me a few questions, as you can see here. Now I've just answered everything in one line. So let's see. Okay. With the architect mode, it is not automatically adding the files. So what I'm going to do is just create another bash terminal. Let me actually start the Ada, another terminal. So export. Now that it is added as coding mode, what we are going to do is we are going to copy this project structure. So I'm just going to copy that here, just going to paste that and just going to hit enter. Now, as you can see, it has now started creating this app based on the plan that we have created using the architect. So I can see that this command is failing because Sadcian has updated their command, as you know. I'll just say use this. So Sadcian. Now, as you can see, I've already hit the token limit. So it will automatically retry in some time. Now, this has been the problem of using the Haiku 3.5 model with Ada. So what I will do as a next step is I'll probably switch back to Klein, which is the tool that we have used in our previous video, and we will see if that helps with the development or not. So that's fine. Now what I have done is I've created a new folder here, and what we are going to do as similar, I'm just going to create another key to use it with client. So we'll go to client settings and here we'll say Anthropic. Now you see this 3.5 Haiku is there. That's fine, but it supports prompt caching, which is really nice. Just going to set the key and then click done. And then we'll just create a new task here. Now, one of the things that we are going to do, because we have already used Ada and created the project plan and everything. So I'm just going to copy that project plan and all the details so that I don't have to do the same steps again, isn't it? So let me do that and let me send these details. So let's open a terminal and let's run that.
And immediately I can see client has started creating all the necessary code as per project structure, feature list, and low level plan that Ada architect has created.
Now, as I can see, it's kind of going through the same step again and again. So I've just rejected this request. I know there is a problem with the get auth. We will fix that later. That's not an issue. Okay, I'm still hitting the limit. Let's wait for some time. So with the Haiku model, even with client, I was getting the same rate limit very often. So now what I'm doing is just changing to open router. As you can see, the open router, I have another $3. On the Anthropic side, let's see how much I have spent till now. So I have still now spent $1.80 with all the development that is done here. So let's continue the development with open router and I will just go there, create a key, and let's just name it again, same thing as subs IQ or something like that. So let's just create a key, copy that, come back here, and we'll just save it there. In the model, we will use IQ 240122 and just save done. And I'll just hit retry. Hopefully, now we can proceed with this development.
And the generated codes are getting
I'm
really
so
interesting
amazed to
now.
see that it's also adding all the kitignore file, the ESLint RC file for linting purpose. This is just awesome. When it comes to executing command, I am seeing this issue with client that it sometimes is failing to run the commands. I don't know if this is a known issue. If you have faced this issue, please let me know how you have fixed this issue. But this is a common pattern that I can see actually. So what I am usually doing when I am facing this kind of issue is I am manually running the command. And then when the command is run, I just say this task is run now successfully manually so that it knows that this task is completed and it can move forward. I think now it is creating all the server actions and the client side is hopefully completed. I'm so much eager to see the final output. Again, this time I wouldn't run the command. I wouldn't let client to run the command because I know it will get stuck. So I'll just run it manually. and I'll just inform you that I have run the command manually.
And I can see that Cloud and Haiku have now started creating the backend code in a really amazing structure. And so now I have consumed the whole Open Router credit. It's time to top up. Fortunately, I haven't hit any token limit issue with Open Router so far. And this is the part that terrifies me, seeing that Haiku model is actually writing the production standard features or codes, the features that I talked about at the start of this video.
Now
Really,
at this
really
stage, I
scary.
have seen that it was continuously updating the files repeatedly, which is more for polishing the application. So I just wanted to ensure that it has completed the core features first, and then it come back and do this. So that's why I asked if you have completed the core feature development. As you see, this has not yet completed the core feature development. And this is what the problem with AI, when you are building with AI, that you really have to be cautious about what it is doing, because it will keep on otherwise improving the code and consume your cost.
By this time, I have done another top up. And although it is costing me money for this experiment, it was sad to see that the model hasn't been able to build the core features yet. But at the same time, it is so scary yet satisfying to see that the model understands essence of production grade development. Probably with some tweak in the instruction and some standard procedure and planning, this model seems much capable to replace me or at least any intern developers. Anyway, I have asked client to give me step-by-step instruction now to test the app, whatever it has developed so far, because I have already spent over around $15 in token cost. It's worth seeing the
So I'm
output.
going to run the Postgres instance locally first. It asked me to install it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually run it locally. So my Postgres is running. I'm just going to go inside that Postgres. Then I'm going to create the database. So we'll just create a user here. Then it says to run this command npx prism migrate dev. So this should create all the tables and database. Oh, I see. I think the problem is I have to just copy this to an .env file. Oh, I think the Prisma it has created, it is also creating the database. Let me just take a look. Okay, now it's throwing that the user doesn't have access to schema public. Again, I'm just gonna go there and then just going to give this access. Hopefully this should work now. So I've just given all the permission possible in hoping to make it work. Yeah, now it has worked. It has created the SQL files, px prism generate. Hopefully this will create all the tables now. And then it says I need to go to cloud.dev, create a project. So let's go to cloud.dev and we want Google and email authentication. That's it. It's asking me to install that. I think it's already installed, but let me just say it. And then it says that we need to set this to key. That's it. It says also need to update the middleware TS. I hope it has added all the required middleware config, and then it has asked me to install a couple of dependency. Okay, let's do that. Okay, that's done. And then it says to go to OpenAI and create an API key. Same thing, go to OpenAI, create an API key here, set the OpenAI API key there, and then I think we are good. Hopefully, should work. Let's see. Bingo.
And that was just
Now
the
let's see
start
how
of the
that looks
error
like.
horror scene. From here, I have tried fixing the error with AI without applying any of my coding experience. Because remember, that was the rule set I did set at the start of the video. Unfortunately, I have hit the $20 mark, but the model or client, I don't know who was the responsible for this, but it could not fix the issue with the code. So, although it looked promising at the middle when it was doing the production like code generation, it just could not fire me away yet from my job role. So, I'm glad from that perspective. But I must say, I was really impressed. In this experiment, I haven't applied any of my coding abilities or skill or appropriate techniques for using agentic coding framework. Yet, it was able to write some production grade features that I really think cheap models like this, with some appropriate technique and procedure being applied, can do wonders in creating production grade app.
In my already pre-launch course, we are going to use such AI tools with appropriate procedure in place to help you launch your dream SaaS idea by the time you will end the course. The course is not just about development, it's about the end to end, step by step process with an SOP that will force you to take action. So if you're serious about your dream SaaS launch, grab the course from the link below at its lowest discounted price it will ever be, being still in the pre launch phase, that I promise. If you want to check out first what we are doing in the course before you decide to buy the course or grab the course, again use the link below to come to our free community and use the learning tab to see our weekly meetup with the peer mastermind members, as those sessions are now kept free to watch for everyone until the course is completely launched. In any way, regardless whether you grab the course or not, please join the community to help each other know and grow together. Some really exciting stuffs are being planned for the community in upcoming days, so please make sure to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye onto the community announcement. I really hope you have had some value from this video. If yes, please give it a like so that it reaches out to wider audience like you. And don't forget to subscribe again to this channel. And I'm going to end this video right now because it is already too long. So please take care and I'll see you on to the next one.